that. I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. My name is Robert Weichelt, and you're on with Elvira. And so Dustin and Kim are looking to relocate to Texas. And you're thinking at towards the end of October, right? Okay. So tell me, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so we can pull up your property that we're talking about, just so we can make sure we have the right property. First things first. That's always a good thing. So let's go here. Yeah. Here's the property that I'm showing. Is this the correct property?
Yes.
Okay, 40298. And say that Via Rita.
Via Rita.
Okay, there you go. And Marietta. And in your opinion, I'm showing that Elvira mentioned that you're looking to sell it for around the 790 range. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think we were looking for like 780, 790.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I have in the notes. And you'll see a lot of different information from Zillow. There's no real rhyme or reason on how they come up with properties. Right now, they're showing your value is 764, which is a good thing, because if you see right here, it says it's between 726 and 802. So that's certainly right in your range. So that's a good place. That's a good place to start. Here's the front of the home. Does it still look like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then we've got a nice, great little front yard. It's got wonderful curb appeal, nice backyard with a little barbecue island there. You've got the pool is just, it's beautiful. It's grown, it's mature. You've got a nice little jacuzzi there. This is the entrance of the home. It still has carpet.
Does not look like that anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So it's tell me about how it looks now.
So now that entire from the front to the back, where the kitchen and the, I guess, is it family room area, all of that now has the vinyl plank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's vinyl plank flooring. That whole kitchen is completely different from that lighting to the countertop. We actually got rid of where the stove microwave is, knocked that whole wall out. And now it's a peninsula with granite. Is that what we went with, or was it quartz? Yeah, I think it's quartz countertop with dark brown, the espresso cabinet. What is that thing that goes there?
The oven or the stove fan. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, the vent.
Yeah, the vent.
The vent. That's stainless steel. We have can light. Is it can light? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. And
you've upgraded it pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They pretty much remodeled their kitchen, Robert.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing.
It was about 40,000 in remodel for the kitchen and flooring.
Oh, good for you. I can't wait to see the updated photos. So this is what it did look like. And the living room, you have the laminate planks, the laminate flooring. And then
also they installed the solar with their house too, Robert.
Is the solar paid off?
No, it's not paid off. It's we have a loan for it.
A lease? Okay, so do you intend to have the buyers assume that lease or have it paid off when you?
Yeah, that's the intention, is to have them just take over the.
Okay, yeah, that we do that all the time. I just like to play that into it.
Yeah.
We have some of the bedrooms and the bathrooms. Any updates to the bathrooms?
No.
Okay, and not that it needs it. I was just curious if you had any extra updates there. And we've got and still have the carpet in the master or in the primary bedrooms.
Unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah.
No, that's fine. You got the shower, you got the bathroom. It's a nice place. We'll certainly want to update the photos for you, and I'll go through the timeline of professional photos to show it in its best light.
2 of the other rooms have the vinyl plank as well.
Okay.
Because we have an office upstairs, and then we ended up treating up the bedroom for our daughter's room as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I'll go ahead and so that's a little bit about your house. What other items can you tell us about the home that maybe we didn't see?
Oh, I I think that was everything.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And again, what we would want to do is, and what I put together here is kind of a timeline, because I'm assuming that you'd want the highest and best price for your home.
Yeah.
You know, what's interesting is, like, we get a little chuckle on that, but I've never met a seller that didn't want the most amount of money, but I'm still in search of that first person ever to do that. Not only do we want to get you the highest and best price, guys, is we want to get it done in the shortest amount of time. We want to maximize your maximum price, but we want to squeeze that time frame. Our timing is a 14-day process, and I'll walk you through that. And based on what we talked about the end of October, we'll make that all come together. So you sell this home and then you go into your next adventure in Texas. Our number one goal also is to remove the liability from you, the seller, but we want to minimize the hassle. When you go on open to the public and you have your home for sale, you've got a lot of looky-loos, a lot of random showings. We want to eliminate that by doing a Saturday and Sunday where everybody gets to come and see your home at the same time. And there's a strategy behind that. And I'll walk you through that in a moment. But we don't want any random showings. Nobody just coming knocking on your door and trying to show your home, or we don't want any inconvenience or hassle. But the best thing is we want to keep the maximum amount of money in your pocket. We've created an online offers platform that allows the buyers to not only transparently compete, but we do all the advertising, all the marketing, all the exposure for your home. We don't do any lock boxes. That means no random showings. We negotiate on your behalf. But like I mentioned before, we have a transparent online offers platform that allows the buyers to transparently compete, therefore driving up that price to as high as it'll go. And we designed that for you, the seller, in mind. But we also designed it so the buyer doesn't feel that they're overpaying, because what happens is buyers are willing to get emotional and pay that super high price. Then when it comes down to crunch time, they're like, oh, I've got buyer's remorse, and then I either want to back out or lower the price. We eliminate that. And I'm going to show you how we do that. We feel it's important that you, the seller, pay for your listing agents, Elvira, us, to market your home. And then we have allowed the buyer to pay for their own agent, therefore saving you even more money, therefore making your net after closing much higher. I'm going to walk you through that. Do you have any questions up to this point?
No.
Okay. And if there's any questions at all, stop me or take notes and whatever. This is all about you guys. Our number one goal is through our online offers platform is to, number one, drive massive traffic to our Saturday and Sunday open house. That's the only time they get to see it, the buyers, because we want the buyers to be able to see all the other buyers that want the same home. So that fear of missing out kicks in. That's a very powerful thing, because more eyes equals more offers. And we truly believe that. We've also attached for your review, and you can read it later if you'd like. We've offered testimonials from previous sellers like yourself. We've given you we're putting together a bio so you know exactly who we are and what we're about. But we also wanted to explain to you how our system, the online transparent offers, the transparent commissions, and letting these buyers transparently compete to have you win. Because our goal is to bring you multiple buyers. So how we do that, and here's also, you'll see here just kind of a recap of how this works, where most listing agents will charge you in between 5% and 6%. We don't believe in that. Like I mentioned earlier, we are only charged 3% and let the buyer, should they choose, to bring in their own agent that represents them. That same buyer agent that's only job is to compete against you. So we let the buyer pay for their own agent. It's really, really working out well for our sellers. Here's our Zillow link. I re-put it in here. But here's our marketing strategy and why we're having so much success. I use the 790. If you noticed here, it's the goal price of 790 plus. You're not going to be mad if we get you more than 790, right? Because when we let the buyers transparently compete, and in most of all cases that we've seen, the final sales price is well above what the seller would ever imagine. I have some samples to show you in a moment, but I want to show you our marketing strategy. There's 3 strategies for listing a home. You price it high, like most sellers do. They price it high and they wait for that one buyer to negotiate down and they kind of come to an agreement. What we do is we figure if you price it at market, you're going to get more buyers. But what we do is we price it below market, getting maximum buyers into your home, getting that bidding war, that buyer frenzy. But one thing I want to point out, you, the seller, have the right to accept, counter, or reject any offer. And let me explain. Our opening price based on what we show here of 790 goal, we'd open that price at 671,500. That represents 15% of what our goal price is. And that gets a lot of traffic. We're getting sometimes 13,000 plus views and over 1,200 saves just from our marketing efforts alone. Now, again, we fully vet these buyers, proof of funds, pre-approval. So it's not just everyone in the world
Random.
snooping through your home. Makes sense? Elvira, we did this one not too long ago for her listing in Spring Valley, and it was a line around the block, and we ended up getting that seller way more than they'd ever imagined. And they had solar that the buyer assumed. So it's kind of a little apples and apples there. Any questions on our pricing strategy?
I don't have.
I'll continue and we can always come back to that and do a recap. Here's the success timeline that we've kind of figured out based on what you're looking for. Now, if you're looking for the end of October to close, because before we met, I didn't know when you exactly wanted to do that. So if we want to close this at the end of October to meet your moving guidelines, what we would do is we can get it closed on or before. Most escrows take 25 to 30 days. That's a normal escrow period. Our marketing period is only 14 days. In 14 days from the time we start to the time that 14 days is up, you'll know exactly what your home will sell for, what your net will be, and when you'll be able to close. What we would do is we could follow this timeline if it works for you. For example, we'd get the 14-day marketing agreement signed, say, let's call it tomorrow. This is, again, just a estimated suggested timeline, and we'll back it up to make sure it's perfect for you. What we still need to do is we need to get in there, give it a nice deep clean, make sure the yard and all the photos are taken to update those kitchen remodel. We need to make sure the smoke detectors and the carbon monoxide are in working order. And then we also need to address any and all potential items that need to be repaired or addressed. Now, if your home is turnkey, ready to go, that's fine. But I notice every now and then that, as we live in a home or as the home's used, knobs get loose, door handles get loose, and we want to go through and make sure we have enough time to get all that really dialed in. So when the open house comes, they see a nice, really good presentation. We would go live on September 14th. And again, this is just an updated, suggested timeline. But our mega open house where everybody gets to see it, in my example, would be September 23rd and September 24th. That drives all the buyers into that one viewing window to let all the other buyers see that there's competition. Then what we do is we allow the buyers to transparently compete, and I'll show you examples in a second. We let those buyers transparently compete until Wednesday after the open house. So that's Saturday and Sunday open house, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday by 7 p.m., all offers are due. Sometimes buyers come in early, but most of the heavy bidding is done towards the end. And it's really fascinating to watch these buyers compete. You're sitting back watching all these buyers come in and place offers on your home. And I'll walk you through how that works. Then by that Friday, the 29th, we would be in escrow, meaning we would be under contract. And then 30 days later, this right here would be October 31st. Does that make sense? So that goes right in your time frame of end of October. Are you following? So these time frames, for the open house, the biggest question, and that's why I've highlighted it, the biggest question is Saturday, 11 to 4, the 23rd, and Sunday, the 24th, 11 to 3. Do those times and dates work for you?
But we don't know yet. Like you said, we do have repairs that we have to make on the house,
Mhm.
and that we're actively working with contractors to get everything. You know, you know how contractors are. It's hard to get like specific dates of when people can get out.
Oh,
So
I know.
I can't give you like a hard date yet for.
That's okay.
You know,
And again, this is just suggested. Yeah. To get you
So-
to your goal, let's see, that would be, and I'll send you that update. But let me give you an example of how the platform works, and then we can go and solidify that timing. This is a for sale by owner that we had, and it's 5785 Jackson Drive. We had 17 offers. You don't need a username and password to see it. All you would need to do is click on the word offers. It's a hyperlink, and you can see all the offers as they come in live time. You'll see Ellen placed her offer, then Frederick, and then Alex, then Alejandra. And as you can see, Marianne outbid herself. And I still to this day can understand why they do that, but it didn't matter because Jenny came in before I can correct her and placed a higher offer. So made that offer a moot point. But as you can see, Ellen started the party off here, and now she came back to place another offer because it's transparent. She knows and is notified that another offer has beaten her. Then you have Joseph. And I want to point out Joseph because this seller, he wanted $650 for his home. It was in not so good shape. And I thought he could probably get $675, but he wanted $650 because of the condition, and he was fine with that. Well, the next day, when Joseph came in, he brought in a $665 offer. And he was like, oh my gosh, it's more than $650. Let's take that offer. Let's go under contract. That's what most sellers think. And I explained to him, I reminded him that we have a transparent platform that lets these buyers transparently compete. He's like, you know what? I'm okay with that. Well, guess what? Sarah came in with an offer at 700. His goal was 650. Now he's got a 700. He's thinking, what, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. He reminded himself that let these buyers transparently compete. They did that. You can see we had a little bit of a bidding war right here. And Masood came in and paid $725. That's $75,000 more than this seller ever thought he would get. And because he was patiently waited, he ended up getting that amount of money. But the other thing I want to point out, when we let the buyer compensate their own agent, that's $21,000 that seller did not have to pay for. So not only did he get $75,000 more, he saved $21,000 in commissions. So it's a fabulous way. And all these buyers must be pre-approved with proof of funds and pre-approval before they can get access to this. Here it is right here. Before they can get activated, these buyers are fully vetted. So we don't want just anybody placing offers. So they're fully vetted before they even have access to it. And the biggest thing is by putting a deadline on it, it creates that urgency. Does that make sense?
I have a quick question.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so let's say we want around 780, 790 for the house, right? We put it up for, I think you said like 680, 670. Okay, let's say it goes, we get bids, but it only goes up to like 730, 50K under what we want. And obviously we have the right to decline that, but now, now we've publicly listed it at, 680, a price comes in that we don't like, we decline it, or, are we kind of shooting ourselves in the foot at that point, declining that final offer, and then, okay, now we want to relist the house for 750, and, now everyone can see online that we just listed it for 670, a month ago.
Totally understandable question. I get it every single time. The seller, first things first, if that low offer, with our marketing strategy, we're driving hundreds of people to your open house, average about between 200 and 300 groups, not people, groups through the doors. So that gets that buzz going. You'll get your lower offers in the beginning, and then you start getting the bidding war that I showed you a moment ago. But the seller has the right to accept, counter, or reject any offer. But to answer your question, if you, let's say you only, if we start at 671 and you only get to what, say 730, you're saying?
Yeah, you know, what if it's 30K under what we were expecting or wanted?
Absolutely understandable. And it's always a concern of a seller. Like I said, because of our marketing strategy, by letting these buyers transparently compete, I've not had to worry about that. But you can certainly counter if that comes to that. But because of our marketing strategy and driving so many people to your open house, I've not had to worry about that. Because the market,
I guess more like,
yeah, the market's showing a value of 785, 790. So a savvy buyer, even the unsavvy buyer, knows about what that home is going to go for. So they're prepared to pay what the market is. It's just letting those buyers transparently compete and take that above market price.
yeah, you know, and I don't doubt that, like, you know, the system works and everything, but I guess like in a general sense, if, you know, if it gets listed way under, doesn't get to what we expect, and then we decline that offer, is that a bad thing just in general?
Yeah, well, I would say that would tell you that the market has spoke. If people seem to think they stop at, say, a 730, and that's where they think it's going to work, the buyers are the ones that decide market value. An able and willing buyer is willing to pay that amount. So that would tell me that that's what the buyers are willing to pay for that home. Now, obviously you would counter them. I would certainly counter them because we have comps to back it up.
Gotcha. Okay.
And here's kind of what we do. We figured we always price it 15% below because we just about double our open house traffic. And that's the number one thing, is to get as many people in the home as possible. That's the number one thing. Number two is we want to get them transparently competing against each other, because at the end of the day, which home is going to attract more buyers? There's your home priced 3 different ways. One's at 6, one's at 7, one's at 800,000. Which one do you think is going to get more buyers? That's the number one goal, is to get people into the home and get those eyes. More eyes equals more offers. This is the kind of traffic. This is the kind of traffic we expect.
Is that something that we, I guess, watch together? Or is it more of like on your end, you're going to see and then alert us?
No,
You would be able.
Everybody has access to this, whether you can go to my website right now and see this. Now, this one's already ended, so you won't see the live time because it's ended. But with your property, you'll be able to see the offers as they come in. Anybody can see the offers as they come in, whether they're registered to place an offer or not. They just can't place an offer until they're activated.
Okay.
Make sense? And I've got hundreds of these properties. I like to tell that story because it's right around your price range and it makes sense. But we've got condos, we're homes all over the country. These are all my California properties. And this just kind of shows you, we ended up, oh, this was great. I sold this property right here and we had 14 offers. We got the buyers, we got them about 20,000 more than they thought they would get. But then the neighbor came to us and said, well, we want that same service that you did for them. And we ended up getting this seller like $65,000 more than they thought they would get. Because, I mean, it's just a system that when you're transparent like this, you let these buyers compete against each other, they're going to take it up as high as they can. So it's, and there's lots of samples. Now I'll send you my email that I send you will have all the samples on it. It'll have, this is some of our open house traffic too. I was going to show you, just to kind of let you know what it looks like when the mentality of these buyers going, oh man, we're certainly not going to get it for that low price. Because at the end of the day, guys, when we let those buyers compete, we open and transparent forum. You, the seller, wins, and that's our fiduciary responsibility, is to get you that highest and best price. Make sense?
I guess, yeah, it all makes sense. Do you have? I'm just curious if you have like a list of, or a number breakdown of how many houses you suffer more and how many houses you have that don't hit that mark that they want. Is that like information that you keep?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I typically don't take listings that aren't priced properly because I don't need to, but I don't want to work with a seller. I deal with it all the time where a seller thinks their home's worth $1 million and they and it's really worth 800. So I typically don't take those listings because that's a fight for somebody else. But if somebody like you that says, I'm realistic, I'm motivated, I'm ready to rock and roll, we're going to show you some amazing results. The people like yourselves that are realistic and let the system work always benefit.
Okay, so I guess my
I think we've closed over 800 of these properties, just a little over 800 in the last 4 years.
What's your question?
No, I said I think my biggest thing is just the timeline. You guys usually aim to have it closed for like the end of the month because it's just better for escrow and stuff, or
this way it just falls that way. I'm just using today as a tomorrow as a start date. So it just comes out where 14 days plus 30 gets you to the end of the following month. That's why I have those time frames. And this is actually October. This is October.
And then do you guys prefer the home to be furnished or having it cleared out? Is that fine?
I personally think is it currently vacant?
No, but I have movers that I have planning to come in the beginning of October. I think it would make it a lot easier as well for a lot of the things that need to be done get done. But again, that's also just kind of up to if it makes a difference with furnishings and does it need to be completely furnished or not.
Yeah,
I'll help you with that, Kim.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry about it. Go ahead.
That's okay. We'll talk about that, Kim.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take care of you. You know that, right?
Typically, the homes, I'm a big fan of getting it in its current best light. We use those 9 days where we list it and nobody can see it. We get the home in its best condition for that 2-day open house. And that's my opinion. I don't know that heavy staging. You can do virtual staging on photos, but I'm a big fan of nice clean slate so people can actually see their furniture in the home, not somebody else's. Either way, you all want to make it always look the best light as possible for that viewing period.
I think we just get everything out that we can.
Okay.
I mean, I'm believing this.
Right. So I would think that would push our timeline then, because like I said, I prefer for my movers to come just grab everything, because then like everything that really will put the house in its best light will be in place.
And yeah, that time frame is completely up to you. This can be engineered anything that works for your schedule.
Okay. And then also, like, my daughter's birthday is the 23rd. So
well, you might want to take her to the park and do it. Yeah. No, this is your time frame. Without knowing what your time frame is, this is what I've proposed, and it can certainly be adjusted to meet your needs.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your time frame. You just tell us how you want it done. Our number one goal, again, is just to get you the highest and best price, as simple as process as possible.
Sounds good.
Questions?
Oh, I think I got all mine out.
Oh, how does the solar impact selling? Does it?
The solar, we would just get your payoff information or your assumability, so the buyers know that we would disclose to them that what are your payments per month? Do you know?
It's like $260.
So we would have documentation to show the buyer that they can assume the loan as long as that loan's assumable. That's the first place to go, is your lender, to make sure that loan's assumable, and then we would disclose it to the buyers in the multiple listing service to let them know that the solar's assumable. Here are the monthly payments. Here's the payoff, and they can make that decision based on the big picture. We do it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure that the solar is assumable, Kim.
Yep, that's the key.
Yeah.
Realistically, Kim and Dustin, what do you think timing wise, as far as when you'd want to close realistically? Do you think at the end of October, or do you think it's maybe later than that?
Probably later. Just trying to be as like realistic about timeline as possible.
Okay.
Movers coming and trying to get everything repaired. I think the house will be ready towards the end of October. But
the house will be ready to sell at the end of October?
I mean, that's our hope. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're hoping for. Is ready to sell by the end of October.
No problem. Again, it's your time frame. All we need to do is really know when this is, and then we can reverse engineer anything we need. We just need to know what dates the home will be available Saturday and Sunday for viewing, and then we can back it do anything we need to accommodate.
Realistically, I feel like this works with everything changed to like October with that being like November.
I mean, it could be, but the problem is that they want to come 2 weeks before that, like 2 weeks before the 30th or a week before the 31st.
right,
We just have to make sure that everything's repaired
Yeah.
and cleaned and fixed.
Yeah.
You just let us know what we can
Yeah.
do to help and when you want to get us going on this, and we're ready to go when you are.
Okay.
And again, I'm going to send you a copy of everything that I sent here. Everything we went over is in this email right here, already addressed to you. It talks about exactly what we're going to do. It gives you a recap, gives you our pricing strategy, why we do what we do. It gives you the suggested timeline. So if you want to go in here and just say this date and this date are better for us, we'll reverse it all around to make sense for you. And then just tells you kind of why we do what we do and also how we've done it for others. So you can kind of see some samples of what we've done for others. And I've hundreds of them. I don't want to put hundreds of examples, but you can certainly dive in as deep as you'd like. And then the kind of tells you why we do what we do and how we're successful with what we do, who sees the home. Every single syndicated real estate website on the planet will be notified once you guys go live. And then at the end of the day, our job is to get you the absolute highest and best price. Make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Any questions? So I think we just need to figure out what dates work best for you. Elvira, do you have any questions for Dustin and Kim?
Would you like me to come and meet you sometimes next week, Kim, or some other time?
Some other time. So I'm basically in the process of finishing up my paperwork. Next week I actually start my new job online.
Okay.
Before flying out to Texas.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of we are supposed to have some people come by to finish giving us our estimates and hopefully start the repair as soon as possible. And I just won't be here until October 1st.
Okay, just let me know when is the best time.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
If you want to watch Live, that'd be great this weekend.
All right, cool.
I'll go ahead and prepare this email. I'm doing that as we speak. I will send it to you. If you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to Elvira or myself, and we'll be able to answer any and all questions. You just let us know what your time frame that works, and we'll make it work for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
No problem.
Thank you, Kim.
Dustin and Kim,
Thanks,
nice to meet
Dustin.
you.
Thanks, Robert.
All right. See you guys.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.